Hello YouTube, Jerry Kirkpatrick here, and it's only been a couple of days since I finished putting the ceiling here in my shop, and this is great. I put the silver side down on the 1.5-inch rigid foam, so all the light, even off of the floor, bounces off of the ceiling right back into the shop. I would say the shop is probably 10 to 20% brighter with the same amount of light bulbs that I had before. And about the only thing that I've done since finishing is I sealed off the top portion of the south door, and I can still open and close the doors. I put a piece of flashing on the door itself and then put a rubber sealing piece that usually goes on the bottom of a door, a sweep, all along the top, and that seals it off quite nicely. And the only other thing that I've done is arrange my forge and the fan behind it. Now these are not where these things are going to be in regular everyday use, but I just wanted to do an experiment to see what it's going to take to bring the shop up to temperature and to maintain it during the day. So this morning when I came in, it was 28 degrees outside, frost everywhere. And when I came into the shop, I have two thermometers. I have one on my toolbox over here that's about waist high, and I have another one over there by the clock that is eye level. So the one at my waist height, it was 52 degrees in here. The one that was eye level was 53 degrees, so only 1 degree different. So the shop was pretty consistent in its heat, right around 52, 53 degrees. I lit my forge and turned that fan on behind it so it would blow out and then bounce around the rest of the shop. And in 20 minutes, the one on my toolbox, the thermometer on my toolbox, was up to 62 degrees. It had gained 10 degrees in 20 minutes. And the one that is eye level, which means it's a little bit higher, closer to the ceiling, obviously, it was 64 degrees. So you can see that it doesn't have to be that hot at ceiling height to get it in a working area or working temperature down around where the core, my core is, and that's what we have to work for. And I think once I break the chill of the morning, I can leave my forge off. I can use it to bring the temperature up in the 60s, and then I have a 2-burner propane heater here, and a friend of mine says that a 2-burner like this will maintain 1,000 square feet, which I have. So once I break the chill in the morning, I can turn the 2-burner on and be pretty sure of being able to work comfortably all day long. One of the first projects that I'm going to do before I put my bead blaster there back in service. I just purchased a dryer and regulator. I'm going to put air all the way around the shop to my mill and lathe. So here it is, a couple of weeks after I shot that last segment, and today is actually Christmas Eve, 24th of December, 2023. The week after I shot that last segment, I spent that week installing a 40 amp 220 service here in the shop to accept a new electric heater. And I also installed a thermostat that I can control the temperature in the shop on my phone while I'm in the office or the house. So running all the electricity and hooking everything up was easily a week to get all that done. After I got the new thermostat, I found out that you need a outside power source. So I had to wait a couple of days on Amazon and got a 24 volt transformer, I guess you could say. It's plugged in over by the mill, and that gives a constant voltage to the thermostat. So that took up 1 week, and all of last week was taken up with running air all the way from where it comes into the shop across over to the northeast corner where my bead blaster will be. I ran a air dryer and regulator there so I could control the pressure for the bead blaster. Then I ran it all the way down the east wall behind the milling machine, and then up and over, as you can see here, ran it over, and it will terminate by the lathe. So after 2 weeks of running, one running the electricity, the second running the air, and then chasing all of the leaks, I had absolutely no leaks in all of the plastic. Schedule 40 PVC had no leaks there. Most of the leaks were where there was a transition from the plastic to metallic. Changing those, having to turn all the air off, leak everything down, go get new fittings, use different types of sealant. I only have one place that is questionable, and that's right where it comes in. And the next thing I'm going to do in regards to the air is I'm going to make a manifold so I can pull off 3 different lines behind the mill and the lathe. That way I can use the air hose, mist, coolant, and then one so if I want it for anything else. I know if I only make 2 outlets, I'm going to want that 3rd one at some point, so I'm just going to make my manifolds with 3 outlets for both the mill and the lathe. So the next thing that I'm going to be working on right after the first of the year is going to be working on my bead blaster. I've made a ton of modifications to it, and it works just great. So I think anybody out there that has a inexpensive bead blaster will like to watch me going through this bead blaster. The main thing I'm doing, the latest thing that needs to be done is sealing everywhere where the two pieces come together. It makes a mess over in the corner with the sand coming out of all of the joints. And that's the only thing that needs to be done to this. I haven't taken the time to do that in the probably 15 or 20 years that I've had it. But all of the modifications I've made to it, even though it's a very small bead blaster, it works like a champ. So stay tuned. In 2024 for a lot of the new projects that I have scheduled. And now that I have a ceiling in here, I have heat, I can work all winter long, and I'm hoping that that will allow me to put out videos on a regular basis. So Merry Christmas to all. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next year.